What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. This is the George Mossey Show. This is my co-host Cherona. So, if you did not know, MILF Manor has aired this Sunday, right after 90 Day Fiance. The Other Way. We're on episode 3, and we were watching the Wall of Secrets dates. So, Joey and April Jane, Ryan and Paula, and Gabriel and Stephanie are on a date, and Gabriel is he's kind of childish, right? Like, I feel like he's probably the most childish person in the house. He's like throwing crickets at Joey, and he's like never serious. And he thinks that he has Stephanie in the bag, right? So Stephanie is the new hot commodity in the house. She's the hot MILF. All the guys are all over Stephanie. I can see why. Stephanie is beautiful, but we're trying to see who Stephanie actually wants to be with because she's very, very secretive with her feelings. Like, she was on a few dates and didn't kiss anyone, and then she eventually kissed Ryan on one of the dates, which was the first guy that she kissed. She does seem to be into Ryan, but she is dating around and she's talking to other guys. She's spending a lot of time with Gabriel, but on a date with Ryan, she mentioned that Gabriel makes her feel young and happy and fun, but she doesn't think there's an actual connection. So what do you think? Who do you think Stephanie is into? Because I can't read her poker face.
I kind of feel like it's Ryan. Like, I mean, I get the whole like, oh, you make me feel young with Gabriel, but like, how young do you want to feel? I don't know. He's like too mature for me. I can't.
Yeah.
I would go. I mean, if I was her, I would definitely go for Ryan because he is mature in a way. He's
He's 30 years old, which is like not young. I mean, oh my God, that sounded horrible. Which is not young in the like scheme of things. Like Joey is 20 years old,
yeah,
you know?
yes, exactly. I feel like he's the most mature, and I feel like they would match well because they're both very mature, and I feel like they would connect the best. I mean, out of everyone, that's who I would pick for her.
So Ryan shot his shot with Paula. And
Mm-hmm.
Paula, beautiful Paula, she has her son Jose. And he was like, "How do you feel about me?" And she was like, "Well, first of all, my priority is Jose." And he's like, "So what's up with the mama's boy vibes here?" And she's like, "Other than that, I want to spend time with myself." And then
Yeah.
she's like, "Other than that, then I'm open to getting to know other people in the house." And Ryan is like, "Well, she's not open to getting to know anyone but her son. I'm going to keep it
Mm-hmm.
moving." Because he's like, "This is a competition. We're not here to just get to know ourselves. We're here to get to know each other." So I feel like Ryan is probably moving closer towards Stephanie, which I think they have the strongest connection in the house. So speaking of weird connections, because that's a strong connection, I want to talk about Kelly and Billy, right? So Billy has some weak game, right? Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of game, but he seems to talk to Kelly and they go out, have like a little date on the beach. And he's like, "I was told I'm a good kisser, but I need you to tell me if that's true." Like, like in true teenager fashion, what you would say to a
Yeah.
girl if you want to get a kiss, but you don't know how to ask. And Kelly is like, "Why would you ask me that?" She's like, "It's supposed to happen organically." Then when he tries to go in for it, he's like chewing food. And it's
Ugh.
like, what
Yeah.
is going on? And Kelly was like, "There's no way you're coming near my face. Like,
Ugh.
no."
I would die. Yeah, I don't know. Their whole interaction, he said some just really awkward things.
Yeah,
And
I'm confused by his game. He's very awkward and then talking about he can't
ugh,
find condoms that are his size and just strange off the wall things. Like, there's no
yeah.
good communication, and then the only comments that he makes are super
Mhm.
sexual and weird. And
Yeah.
even for Kelly, who's very open and sexual, she was just like, "I get weird vibes from this guy. Like, he's not like mature in his flirting game." And it's like, how does he normally talk to women?
I don't know. He gave me like some real like nerdy, I've never kissed a girl, I might not have ever slept with a girl vibe. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought. It was so cringy. Like if like I was on a date with a guy and he acted like that, I'd be like texting my best friend like, "Hey, I have an emergency. Call me right now so I can leave." I could not handle that.
It was cringy. And this whole
Yeah.
show is cringy, but that interaction was cringy. Speaking of cringy, though, Kelly decided after the date to go and tell Billy's mom,
Ugh.
Stephanie,
No.
about the comment that he made.
Mm.
And this was like the weirdest conversation because Kelly was like, "Oh, did you know that your son says that he has a massive package?" And she's just like, the look on her face of terror and embarrassment, and just she's just like, "What would make you think that I would want to have this conversation with you regarding my son?" And Kelly's like, "Oh, well, I kind of figured you already knew." And I'm like, Kelly, why the hell would she already know that? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this conversation at this point?
Okay, no. That was so cringy. I mean, Billy already made it weird, and then Kelly made it weirder. Like, why'd you gotta go talk to anyone else but his mother about that? Like, that is
Hmm.
crazy. I did not like that. I thought that was insane. Like, nope, nope, nope. I don't want, if that's your kid, you don't want to know. I mean, they already know way too much about each other now, but
Yes.
she just had to make it weirder. I didn't like that.
I felt like that was like a attack at his mom. It's like
Mhm.
because nobody wants to hear that. And it's like, Kelly, don't do that. And
No.
Kelly noticed that Jose was avoiding her. And I
Mhm.
think it has to do with the Spanish
Yeah.
situation. I think Jose is turned off a lot by
Mhm.
that because I'm pretty sure everyone in Jose's family speaks Spanish very fluently. So
Yeah.
he's probably like, I don't think that I want that type of energy, and it's kind of sad because I thought that Kelly and Jose were building a connection. So
Same.
unfortunately, I think that that connection is dead. Like I don't think it's going to go anywhere from here.
Yeah, I think she ruined that one.
So this week's challenge was a mom and son duo dance competition, and the person who gets the most votes from everyone in the house gets a solo date with whoever they want at a Latin dance club. So the
Mhm.
mom can pick whoever she wants, the son can pick whoever he wants, and they will go on that date. So in order for this to work, So Young and Jimmy had to work on their relationship because they weren't even speaking. So we did watch them kind of open up and have a conversation. Because at first, Jimmy was just kind of like, don't come near me. I don't want to talk to you. I can't deal
Mhm.
with you. You don't respect me as your son. But then during the rehearsal for this dance, they did actually have a conversation where he said, I'm more so mad at the situation than I am mad at you. So I'm not going to be upset with you because I'm not upset with you. I'm upset with the situation. And I just want to move forward past this. And I think that that was really mature for him to do because I don't know. If my mom slept with my best friend, that could be like a 3 to 6 month no contact order for me. Like we would have to stop talking for a while. I don't know the definite amount of time, but we're not going to talk for a while because the way that she told everyone in the world what happened is just super hard because Jimmy has friends and Jimmy's friends have TVs and Jimmy's friends have the
Mhm.
internet. So they're all going to know what took place. And Jimmy's friends are not stupid. They're going to be able to figure out which friend she's talking about.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to follow him forever. So I
Uh,
am proud of him for being mature enough to not let this relationship go to any place other than love because that's probably what it would have done for me. So Magic Mike Harrison and his mom Charlene put out this dance routine that took the house by storm. Every MILF in the house was on her feet. Nobody in the house was immune to this. Even Kelly was like, how much for like a lap dance? Like, this is happening for me. So it was no actual surprise that they were going to win this competition. So everybody wanted to know who Harrison was going to pick because all of the women were super heated after
Mhm.
his dance. So all of the women were like, oh my God, pick me. Oh my God, pick me. And he picks Stephanie. His mom picks Jose, which I don't think that there's a lot of connection between Charlene and Jose. We watched them on their date and they were kind of talking and they never really met eye to eye on anything. I felt
Yeah.
like they're friendly with each other, but there's no actual connection. And I feel like Charlene is a sweet, nice woman, but I feel like in order for her to let loose a little bit and find the right guy, she's going to have to be more open to a younger guy and a younger lifestyle because I feel like she's being too mature for these guys and they don't understand mature. Like she was trying to explain to him how she's always had to take control and she's been independent and she's been on her own for so long. And he was just like, oh, well, I just like when women take control. They're not going to see that part.
No.
So I'm hoping that Charlene is going to find the right guy for her soon because this is the first time she's actually gotten her date. It's been a
Mhm.
minute. So she hasn't really
Yeah.
gotten to get to know guys in the house yet. Unfortunately, it's not Jose. I don't see that. But Harrison picked Stephanie, who is the MILF top 10, top tier in the house. And apparently it's not a match for Harrison and Stephanie either, which was really interesting because every time Stephanie asked Harrison who he liked in the house, it was always a name of another woman other than her. So Harrison
Mhm.
isn't big on compliments. He doesn't compliment the woman in front of him. And I don't know if that's because he's used to dancing for crowds of women screaming his name night after night, and you don't really have to do much to get the attention of the women there because your shirt's already off and they're already interested. So I don't know if like he's not used to giving compliments and making a woman feel like she's the only woman around, because he definitely didn't do that for Stephanie, right?
No, I thought that was such a weird interaction. And like, why did he pick her then? Like, that made no sense. Like, you named off all these other women and you're on a date with her. And that's so degrading to her. Like, I don't understand that. He should have picked the first person that he really wanted to go out with. Maybe it was just a competition thing because he knows everyone's feeling her. But it was like, you just kind of ruined your chance.
Well, yeah, she knows that she's not even the second choice for him. And I feel like that's, like you said, it's degrading. It doesn't make her feel good about herself. And she's definitely beautiful and she's a top runner in the house. Like all of the guys at this point, there's literally Gabriel who's almost ready to physically fight people for her. Every time someone picked Stephanie, he had this horrible look on his face and he's like, well, I'm pretty sure this doesn't matter because we have this strong connection and she's already in the bag and I'm not intimidated. And I'm like, bro, if you're not intimidated, how come every time they have a confessional, you're talking about another guy? You're super intimidated by these guys. You can't ever think that someone is in the bag based on one date where you were throwing crickets at people.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't see that being a real connection.
Right. Like what kind of connection does he think that he has with her? It's like, yeah, they have fun, but lots of people have fun with friends. You have to do a little more than laugh and joke and be silly on a date, like in order to build that connection. So they dropped the bomb on us right at the end of the episode, and I'm kind of worried because I didn't think of this show as like The Bachelor or any of those shows, but they told us that a mom, I keep calling them mom, a MILF and son will be leaving us next week. So are they voting people off of the island? Like, is there going to be like the last MILF and the last son standing? Do they have to pick each other? I'm very confused. They didn't give us any ground rules. They didn't tell us what was going on. And now they're changing things up. So now what do we do now? Where do we go from here?
I'm really confused by that because like you said, it's kind of turning into The Bachelor, but is it supposed to only be one couple at the end or is there like the top three? I mean, but what if someone goes home that was really feeling someone else that's staying? Like, is that going to ruin? Like, I don't understand where they're going with this. This show is crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what's happening, and it's stressing me out.
It's very stressful because I want to know at least what's going on, because I was under the impression that a son would pick a MILF and then at the end, like the last episode, I saw something about they write a letter to each other. And if they picked each other, then they would win or whatever. But I don't think that's the case, because what if you wrote a letter to someone who's no longer in the house? Exactly. So I don't understand. Like, where are we going with this? Who's going to win? Do they get like a cruise, a trip? Like, what's going on? I want a little more information.
Yeah, this is a little crazy. I have no clue what's going to happen at all.
We are 3 episodes in MILF Manor. I am worried about what's going to happen because we have favorites and front runners in this show. Stephanie can't go home, right? And no, neither can Ryan. So we need to know what's going on. So I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Cherona. Make sure you follow me at George Mossey on all social media, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. Make sure you're following my co-host, Cherona, as well. We will be here next week to talk about whatever the hell is going on MILF Manor and who's going home, because we'll know that next week, and hopefully it's not who we think it is. All right, guys, we'll talk to you all really soon.